Up here in the mountains now, look, we got a babbling brook. What's the elevation? We're about 8,200 feet. Babbling brook could be on a packaging for a box of bar soap. Actually, no one does bar soap in the United States anymore. They just do that fucking body soap, liquid soap that comes in a plastic bottle. You get to throw the bottle in the ocean afterwards because America's through giving a shit about any of the any of its natural resources. It's just all the holes, get your kicks in, and just leave it to rot. Move on. We're going to Mars. Fuck the Earth. Anyway, this is kind of interesting. You know what? Another thing too. It's amazing how easily you can change the mental image that you get from a phrase like babbling brook just by putting the word fecal in it. Babbling fecal brook. Now it's not such a pretty mental image anymore, is it? How about that? Anyway, Rudbeckia laciniata right here, which, if you live in the Midwest, you'd know this from there. This grows at, sea level or damn near close to it, further east in more music environments. But being that we're in New Mexico, in the western, more arid part of the United States, it's growing here at 8,000 feet. But it's the same species, probably a different ecotype slightly. But there you go. Rudbeckia laciniata. Look at the little tube flowers in there. See that? Those short little corolla lobes. Probably 120 flowers in a single flower head. Got a nice geranium species right there. Look at that, native geranium. There's the leaf shape. There's those pendant, unopened buds, and then when they go to fruit, let's see if we got, yeah, there we go. There's a little bird beak fruit. See that? And then over here, we got our old friend, Diplacus. Well, I fucked this up. In 2012, the genus Mimulus, aka the monkey flowers, got split up into Diplacus and Erythranth. Diplacus like drier areas, and the flowers are sessile, and Erythranth like riparian areas, and the flowers have a pedicel. This is Erythranth. Give me a fucking break. I hadn't been sleeping, okay? There's a monkey flower hiding in the stream in the riparian area in the fecal babbling brook. Always nice to see a Diplacus. Those auriculate leaves. Tiny seeds in the Diplacus. Holy shit, look at that bee fly. Look at that thing. It's like a red little fuzzy fly mimicking a bee. Look, see, it's got that proboscis. See that long poker? Oh, wow, look, it's mullein. Did you know that it's medicinal? It's a medicinal plant. It's not invasive at all. There sure does seem to be a lot of it in these degraded woodlands at 7,000 feet elevation in New Mexico. These dying white pines, but it's not invasive. It's a medicinal plant. It's an anti-inflammatory, and you can smoke it, you piece of shit. Who are you to be racist against a plant, to tell a plant that it doesn't belong here? It's not invasive at all. That was probably planted. It's not invasive in the slightest. You can make a rectal poultice out of it. It's medicinal. For an ailment that you don't even know that you have, it's really good for that. Look at that. Look how good it is. Look. Ooh, it's so fuzzy. It's a fuzzy. You can smoke it. It's combustible material you can take into your lungs. You can inhale the particles, and it's somehow good for your lungs, even though you're inhaling thick smoke. Anyway, look, we got Monarda right there. Monarda fistulosa, which I'm used to seeing in the prairies of Illinois, but apparently it's growing fine here at 7,000 feet in these degraded woodlands filled with dying pines. And near Ruidoso, New Mexico. God, I fucking hate mullein. I really hate mullein. Did you know that? I really do. And I hate it more because so many other people love it. And when you tell them, actually, that's an invasive plant, they say, well, no, it's medicinal. And then they start arguing with you. It's like, okay, whatever. Sure, the sky's not blue. It's fucking purple. Look at the sphinx moth. Look at that thing. Look at that massive sphinx moth. There's been a lot of sphinx moth activity in these mountains, hitting these giant onotheras. Giant flowers. Looks like they just opened. You can see these are withering right now. Some species, a lot of onotheras open at night. Some are diurnal. Some mix it up. But either way, that's a massive flower. Look at that. 4 petals, 8 stamens, a 4-lobed style, 4-lobed stigma, and style right there. And then, of course, you got that pollen that occurs in viscid threads. See how it's kind of like threads dangling off those anthers? Wild. And then we got the red potentilla. Oh, look at that thing. Most potentillas, which are in the rose and strawberry family, Rosaceae, are yellow. This one's red. What pollination that's going for? Hummingbirds, maybe? Fucking mullen everywhere. It's not invasive, it's medicinal. Christ, look at that thing. There's so many sphinx moths up here. The thing's the size of a hummingbird. Hyles lineata. Look at that long-ass proboscis, too. Where's his... Look at a long proboscis. Look at that long tube. Look at how long that tongue is. Jesus Christ. His tube mouth. Oh, look, I got Onothera splooge on me. That viscid thread pollen, you see it? Look at these guys. God, they're fucking fantastic. What a fantastic little insect. Ugh. See, this guy, he doesn't got the long tongue. I wonder if that's a different Hyles species or what. Yeah, they behave like hummingbirds, too. They don't let you get close to them. But Potentilla thurberi, with those red flowers, bright red flowers. Ah, it's almost getting too dark to film. Red everything. Red stamens, red filaments. That is a fucking beautiful species. And what's selected for that? Probably, yeah, I guess hummingbirds or butterflies. There's the leaves. Looks like a cross between strawberries and cannabis. All right, it's getting too dark to film. See, this guy doesn't have a long tongue. There's two different species of moths, and he actually gets his head in there and pollinates it, and that one with the long tongue isn't really doing much pollination because he doesn't have to get into the flower. He's got a long-ass proboscis. They're both beautiful, though. And this plant's supporting both of them. Look at this thing. Yeah, that's the other species. Look at that. Look at how long that proboscis is. He doesn't even have to touch those stamens. Yeah, fucking, what a cool little insect. Look, he's got pollen. You got viscid threads all over your proboscis, pal. You know, this plant's supporting both species of moths, but, you know, wouldn't you rather have mullen because it's medicinal? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Crime Pays with Bonnie Does It. We're here up at over 9,000 feet in the mountains near Ruidoso, New Mexico, looking at a recently burned forest. I'm not sure when this fire happened, 2 or 3 years ago, but you can see we got two look-alike trees right here. We got Abies concolor and Picea pungens. Picea pungens, the blue spruce, which is so common in Midwest horticulture, because it's one of the few members of the pine family that can take that summer humidity. But they can look a lot alike. What you're looking at there is Abies concolor, and what you're looking at there is Picea pungens. Picea pungens, of course, has the drooping cones. Abies concolor has erect cones, and then they can look a lot alike when the needles are next to each other. There's only a slightly different change in habit and a slight difference in needles. Picea pungens tend to be a little bit more pointy and tend to hurt if you push down on the needle too hard. That aside, got a bunch of cool wildflowers going off right here. Louie's joining me. She's chilling out. We got Hymenaxis hoopsii right here, which is obviously an Asteraceae, the sunflower and daisy family. Turn it over, look at the filaries. You can see you get them little spiky filaries. They get some slight pubescence on those filaries as well. And then, of course, those leaves are all succulent and juicy. And you can see they're somewhat broad here, too. And they got the parallel veins coming out. Also got Cirsium perrii right there, a yellow thistle. It's a yellow thistle. But, you know, you get high enough up, you get different casts of species, because obviously it's different growing conditions. You can see that yellow flower right there. Anyway, we're going to take a look around, see what else we got going here. Let's go check it out. There you go. So, see, this is a blue spruce, Picea pungens, but then over there you have blue spruce mixed with white fir, Abies concolor. And on the right, I've taken a branch of Abies concolor and holding it up, comparing it to blue spruce. You can see they look a lot alike, but when you look at the stem, you can see vast differences. You can see that beige tissue follows up the needle, comes up a few millimeters from the stem on the spruce, and of course the spruce also has a pointy tip. And then the fir, the Abies, has a softer tip, a more truncate, flattened tip. And you can see where it emanates from that beige shoot. It doesn't get that little piece of beige shoot coming up with it. You see what I'm talking about right there? It just comes right out. See, compare that with that. Okay, obvious differences.
You can see part of that beige tissue follows up the shoot. But it is a real clusterfuck. If you have cones, it's very easy to tell because the spruces are danglers. They get dangling cones like you could see in that tree in the middle, in the back there. And the ABs get erect cones. See, there's a spruce. You got danglers. ABs have cones that sit upright on the branches. Right there you can see we got Lupinus argenteus with those palmate leaves. Got another one right here. Just about finishing up flowering. There's those lupin flowers, same genus as blue bonnets in Texas. Yeah, they're a little post. They should be a lot more blue. Get the 7-foot tall lupins down in Michoacan, Mexico, in the cloud forest where the monarchs go. But of course, Lupinus is a genus with quite a few species in it, probably a few hundred. There's little bean pod fruits, palmate leaves. You can see you got quite a few leaflets on one leaf. And then over here we got Erysimum capitatum, which is the orange member of the mustard family, orange and red flowers. So 4 petals, 6 stamens, and look at those elongated flowers. And you get the stigma right there as well. Those petals. It seems like, oh wow, what's going on here? You got differences in color. I guess they're red before the stigma shoots out, before that style elongates. So, who knows what's going on? The stigma hasn't evolved. The style hasn't poked out of these yet. But Erysimum capitatum. Erysimum, I haven't seen many in Texas. It's a genus I know from California. We got Campanula petiolata right here. A bellflower. Look inside. Campanulaceae, which is a family in the order Asterales. You can see they get that bifid stigma, bifid or trifid stigma in some cases, and those anthers at the bottom of that little bellflower. And linear leaves on it as well. And then here's a high elevation penstemon. Of course, you got over 200 species of penstemon in North America. This one has the beard on the corolla, not on the staminode. You can see that staminode right there in the center is barren. Flip it up and you can see the stamens kind of curving around, architecturally supporting the corolla with those purple anthers in the center and the style in the center as well. Whole thing's covered in little glandular hairs, glandular trichomes. This is Penstemon whippleianus. Whippinanus. Named after a dead guy named Whipple, pretty stupid, and then anus is just a Latin epithet they put on there. You can see very glandular, and of course still got those opposite leaves, and persistent style after the corollas fall off after the flower's been pollinated. Oh, look at these massive quake and aspens, Populus tremuloides. You know, back in the old days, Basque sheep hoarders would they'd carve porn into the. Hey, stop digging! Get out of there! No. Basque sheep hoarders would carve pornographic symbols into the quake and aspen trees. You know, it's the equivalent of something known as bum porn. You know, like if a hobo rides a boxcar and I'm really winded from the elevation, leaves a very crudely drawn image of a naked lady, you know, on the side of the boxcar door on the inside is the equivalent to that. You know, you got to figure these guys are out here all by themselves. They get lonely, you know. So sometimes, like in Nevada, you'd find, you know, naked ladies carved into the aspens. But, you know, aspens only live 80 to 100 years at most. So, you know, many of those pornographic images are going the way of the dodo, which is sad. You know, they're testaments. Look, the ants are harvesting the aphids. I presume that's what that's about. Look at those flowers, though. All those trichomes protecting it, I presume, from frost and from increased ultraviolet. It's a notable color for a thistle. See, look at how much they look alike. Fir, spruce. Fir, spruce. See that? See, the spruce is more of a dangler, and of course it gets those galls on it as well, right there. Those aren't cones, they're galls. See, you get the spruce growing in the back and a fir growing in the front. But again, look at that up close. See? You don't see that brown sheath going a millimeter or two up the needle, and it's got a blunt edge. And then over here, let's see if I can get it. Right there, you got that beige bit going a little bit up the needle, and you got a pointy edge. See that? See, you got the beige tissue going up the base of the needle, millimeter or two. Very subtle differences. Ah, and here's a cool one. We got the Delphinium Novo Mexicanum, and it's still blooming. You can see these up top, the flowers up top. The top of the raceme have not gone off yet, and then the flowers down here, they look a little haggard. I don't know if they're getting toasted or what. It's a beautiful Delphinium. Ranunculaceae is the family, the quote buttercup family, of course, which many members are toxic. But what's going on? I got a nectar spur or what? Where's the nectar spur on? Oh yeah, you got a little nectar spur back there. Look at all those. Curious though, those purple anthers are underneath that red part of the, what is it? That's the corolla, presumably, I guess. And then the white hood, those are the sepals. Really cool flower morphology. You can see they get pretty big. They got divided leaves, palmate leaves right there, and large. And look at this beautiful grass, too. What is that, Aragrostis or something? I don't know. You got your Campanula petiolata right there. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at this grass. This is a nice grass. Anyway, yeah, Delphinium Novo Mexicanum. You prick. This is kind of weird. Look at all these dwarfed spruces. What's going on there, huh? It's kind of odd. Meanwhile, they're turning into full-fledged trees up there. Why are they growing all dwarfed here? What's keeping them krummholzed? Oh, God. Think of some cultivars you see in the suburbs, you know? I've probably seen cultivars of this exact phenotype in a, you know? Well, I've gone to the rich suburbs of Chicago, and I've ever had the misfortune of finding myself there. And of course, we got a castanea, and of course, it's growing next to grass. Next to that grass species, which it is certainly parasitizing. They branch, the leaves branch. You got two, they're trifoliate, and look at that, those hairs along the stem. And of course, there's the flowers. Ooh, the bracts in these, the bracts at subtend are green down below, and then they slowly turn to red up above. They act as a little flag to pollinators, but of course, it's hitting that grass. It's a partial parasite on the grass. Of course, we got an iris too, but they're done already. What is that, Iris missourica? Missouriensis, Missouri something, whatever it is, probably. And we got Frasera, already gone to fruit. Big white and purple flowers when it goes off. This is the high elevation Rocky Mountains Frasera. Get quite a few species in North America, including a really cool one on the East Coast. Carolinianum, Frasera caroliniana, whatever. Carolina something. But you can see this one's already done. It's going to be, and this plant will die. Fraseras, of course, are monocarpic. Gentianaceae, gentian family, but it'll produce a ton of seeds. And each one of these capsules, which split open when the tissue dies, when they dry out. See, there's a Frasera that didn't bloom. Who knows when it will bloom? They can live for 30, 40, 50 years, and then they bloom at the end of it. Yeah, just like an agave, they're monocarpic, but that's what the leaves look like. So this guy's still just cooking up the sun's energy and storing it in that root in the ground, and then who knows when it'll actually, but that's a really weird spruce. What's going on? I'm a jackass. We're way too high up for Abies concolor, which of course looks much different in California than it does in the Rocky Mountains, but regardless, it doesn't matter because this is Abies laciocarpa, which is bluer, has shorter needles, but they're still round though, and still gets them in like, it looks much more geometric, still gets them at like these even planes. These flat plains. But yeah, this is Abies laciocarpa. A higher elevation fir, which you'll get in southern Utah and throughout the Rockies. But again, it's gentle to touch. Look at some prick. Someone was carving stuff in there. Why did they do that? That's just an axe place, I guess, to mark the trail. But oh, look, you got an iris going off still. Look at that. Look at those petaloid styles. So what do we mean by petaloid styles? Well, irises have stamens, being a monocot, stamens in numbers of 3. And the style, well, there's the stamen. You can see it right there. It's under this thing, but this is the petaloid style. So these, of course, are the petals, and then this is technically a style. It's a petaloid style. It looks like a petal. But of course, you know, pollen grains germinate on the little stigma right there, and then of course sends a pollen tube down into the ovary, which all 3 of these petaloid styles connect to. It's cool, there's still one going off. Of course, you got nectar guides in there as well. See that? That's nice. Who doesn't love an iris? I mean, a really devastating forest fire. Anyway, here's a Senecio eremophilus. You can see it looks like any Senecio. It's glabrous, That just means smooth. It's only got one round of phyllaries, uniseries phyllaries. You can see it's got those little black tips to those phyllaries. And before those flowers open up, before the rays come out, you can see it's got a unique, looks like a barrel. The flower heads look like a barrel. And then there's that lacy divided foliage. It's somewhat abundant here, though. We got a ribes over there, too. Don't know which one. And more Lupinus argenteus, Circe imperii, and lots of dead trees. The coyotes are going off. How's that make you feel, Louie? You want to join them? You know, I guess if they had enough kibble, it wouldn't be too, they wouldn't put you on the menu. They're somewhere down there. What are they doing out there? What are they doing out there? Look at, I'm getting dive bombed by these hummingbirds. Look at those little guys. What? They're whizzing around me like they're fucking TIE fighters. Anyway, look at this. We got the scrophularia from the Scrophulariaceae. It's the Scrophularia montana. Tiny flowers. Tiny red flowers, and they got little glands. Look at the little black glands. It makes this unpalatable. It makes it smell really bad. It smells very chemical. It's kind of like Robitussin. And then there's those leaves. Are they alternate? Oh yeah, they're alternate. But that's interesting though. Well, they're opposite. Proximally, they're opposite, and then distally, further up the stem, they seem to go do the alternate thing. Listen to these fucking hummingbirds, man. They're hilarious. They're going off. We got the coyotes going off. We got ribes. We got scrophularia. We got a bunch of dead trees. Penstemon, whipmyanus, right down there. That's not a very pleasant though. Let's keep going. You see this branches where those little bastards like hanging out. God, they're cute. Look at that guy. Look, he's so cute. Isn't he cute? Ah, shit. That's nice. Oh, I see you. I like that you got attitude too. You got a green back and a kind of a Rufus chest. There's so many of them up here, though. What are they doing up here? Where do they go in the winter? They must just go to Mexico. Oh, yeah, the forest got trashed. See, the trees are falling down. Now you start getting more erosion. There's lots of penstemon whipmyanus around here, though. See that glandular penstemon with no beard? It's, you suddenly expose all of this land to the sun. And, oh, what's this? Is that scrophularia? Is this montanus? Again, yeah, it looks like it. Those guys still got the glands on there? Yeah, still got them black glands. Oh, it smells bad. It's a lot of seed, though. You know, eventually, presumably, the forest will come back if this is the end of the drought, but I don't know if that's the case. You know, hopefully the forest will still be here in 100 years, but I'm not going to bet on it. Man, the hummer population is massive here. There must be 40 hummingbirds. Makes sense. There's tons of food for them. Probably hitting that penstemon, the scrophularia, maybe the lupin too. I don't know. Probably a lot of nectar for them. Tons of bugs for them to eat, etc. Oh, it's Hesperodontis linearifolius. I know this from West Texas. Wild to see it up here at 10,000 feet. Mustard family, Brassicaceae. 4 petals, 6 stamens, and a fruit, as you can see maturing down here, is a silique. A long rod that splits open at 2 seams. The fucking hummingbirds up here are hilarious, man. I mean, they're actually really aggressive. They're really aggressive. They're dive bombing me. One just flew right by me. Fucking, what are you trying to do? Trying to stab me? You trying to come at me? Come at me, dog. Huh? Wow, look at all that penstemon. Anyway, over here we got a cool member of the carrot family in the genus Cymopterus. Right over here, just a little yellow flaky carrot. Let's step over where I pissed. That's how I noticed. Look, we got a compound dumbo and we got parsley-like foliage. You can see, look at that. See the compound dumbo right there? Oh, look at that. You get those carrot-like fruits subtending it. See that? It's getting too dark to film. Carrot-like ovaries. The spot just got annihilated, though. What's that erigeron? A little pink composite. Oh, here's a nice one. What are the bluebells? Whatever that means. A common name that doesn't really mean anything because it refers to quite a few unrelated plants. But this is Mertensia franciscana in Boraginaceae, the borage family. See, it's got pendant flowers and a long node. Long distance between the nodes, rather. Long internode, excuse me. You can see how that style persists on that one in the middle after the beautiful blue corollas have fallen off. You can see they get a little... Look at that anthers. They make that little... Oh, that's kind of quaint. I need to get photos of that. But we got this little babbling brook. We got quite a few insects flying around too. And hummingbirds snatching them up. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, the sphinx moths are out. Yeah, you know what's when they come out. You know what's going on. They're hitting the penstemons too. God, it smells good. That arid mountain air. Dry mountain air. You don't get that in Texas. These fucking hummingbirds are out of control, man. Oh, nice. I was wondering if this was going to open. I passed it on the way up, and it was closed, and I said to myself, that's probably going to open in an hour, and sure enough, it did. Wonder what Onathra that is. Let's take a look, see if we can... Should be more of these things. There's so many damn moths here. Yeah, I bet 200-300 years ago there were probably... Oh, God, I can only imagine what it was. It must have been so nice up here. So many fucking moths, so many more of everything. And so many fewer people. Up, I was just taking photos of it, and a sphinx moth literally just came and hit this thing. And you can see it stuck its whole head in there too. So they've got that long proboscis, which is like 5 to 6 inches long, but they still got to stick their whole head in there, and you can see why. Look how long that floral tube is. You know what? Well, it must be the sphinx moth's hidden nose, too. That must be what the pollinator that those things evolve with. I guess it could be bees, but we're up here at 10,000 feet. It's pretty chilly. And those flowers do look a little bit cream-colored or yellow, so sure they're being picked up on the visual cue of a giant moth. Probably hummers, too. Just saw a hummingbird hitting that little, that Delphinium Nova Mexicanum over there. Oh, I did not expect to see this guy up here. Look at that. Toxicodendron radicans. Poison ivy. Or maybe it's another toxicodendron species. Sure looks like radicans, though. Yeah, just growing in full sun, open and exposed on a talus slope composed of, what is this, rhyolite, andesite? Looks like andesite. Wild. Probably very cool, 6 inches down, though. I was singing in a nice baritone Waylon Jennings voice. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Pinus strobiformis, a white pine. 5-needled pine from the southwest in Mexico. Look, there's a cone up there. You know, this type of setting, depending on a demographic, definitely makes for some rude, crude, and lewd pop country songs sung in a baritone voice. So what penstemon is this? Neo-Mexicanus, or is this Whipmyanus? This looks like, what is that, Neo-Mexicanus? Yeah, it looks like it. Ooh, what is this? Something very scabbard, not flowering yet, though. And then here we got another one, that Yup, that is not quite flowering yet. This is Burkelia rusbii. A lot of stuff in these mountain ranges in southern New Mexico are named after a dude named Rusby. I don't know who that is, but apparently he made contributions to botany in the area. This is known as stinking bricklebush. Burkelia, again, genus in Eupatoriae, the stevia, and Joe Pyeweed tribe. Not quite blooming yet. Oh, look at that beautiful purple rhyolite. Look at that. That is gorgeous. It's a gorgeous rock. And then over here, with the yellow flowers, we got a species of solidago, of goldenrod. And this thing actually stinks pretty bad. It does not smell nice. It's got a very, burning rubber chemical smell to it. Mullen, it's medicinal. I rip it out. And here we go. There's Solidago wrightii. Another southwestern goldenrod. Look at those broad leaves, too. Doesn't look anything like the goldenrod species that we get in the Midwest. But then when you look at those, look at that beetle just passed out in there. But then when you look at those phylaries, oh, you go, oh, okay, I get it. Look at the glandular trichomes. That's part of the reason it stinks. Look at all the glands. Oh, look at that little beetle. That's nice. Oh, I'm going to take a little photo of him. All those glandular trichomes, the reason it smells bad. Nice prunus. And then more DY seed diversity, more composite diversity. This is kind of cool. We got Eldama cordifolia, and I think this was that scabbard-leaved bastard, that is the sandpapery leaves, opposite leaves, that I was seeing back there, which I know this plant from Mexico and from the Davis Mountains of West Texas. So another narrow distribution here, not very widespread. Eldama cordifolia, excuse me. And then over here we got Paracombe caudata, another DYC, but again, look at the leaves, look at the petiole length. Are they opposite or alternate? How long is the petiole? And then that uniceria, those uniceriate phyllaries, can tell that is a senecio relative. No rays, no daisy, quote, petals. No daisy petals. Paracombe caudata. There's those leaves. You can see the somewhat long petioles and a distinct shape to those leaves as well. Kind of arrow-shaped. And these are Miocene, Oligocene and Miocene volcanic, so 30 to 20 million year old volcanic rocks, much younger than the limestone that we've been in for the previous week. And a nice rhyolitic outcropping, beautiful Physaria right there. Look at that little bladder pod. Look at that, those blue leaves across that dark purple background. We got Ipomopsis aggregata. Little firecracker in the fox family. Look at those flowers. Look at the speckling on her. Obviously going for hummingbird pollination. Probably getting hit by moths too. And Mirabilis melanotricha. Another somewhat narrow distribution on a species. Melanotricha, probably because it's got, I guess, darkish hairs on the corollas, which aren't opened yet. Probably not open because it's probably moth pollinated like so many Mirabilis are. Look at those hairs. Holy hell. Opposite leaves. Coming out the rhyolite. Oh, the forest is dead, but man, there's so much good stuff to look at otherwise, like this Heterotheca Sierra Blancensis. A rare version of a common genus. Oh, look at those. Look at those, what are those little darkened ends of the phyllaries? How about that? That's kind of curious. Whole thing is hairy. You can see it likes growing on rocky outcroppings. There's Carduus natans, which is pretty annoying. Then we got that allium species right there, a wild onion. And then even more curious is this Lithospermum boraginaceae multiflorum, which is seems to be another sky island plant from the southwest. Little tube flower, a yellow member of boraginaceae. And then of course we got our gamble oaks, Quercus gambelii, re-sprouting after the fire. Oh, look at that. That's all that Paracombe caudata. That's a beautiful plant. That would do nice in a native plant garden. We're up at 85. Oh, there's Ariagona moutonii. This is a little hazardous what I'm doing. I'm just going to go park. Some youths coming down from the mountain up there smoking dope up there. What's some guy just mean mug, man? I don't know. Maybe he's upset. He's got something going on in his own life. Basically 21st century America, every fucking person I know needs therapy. Everyone's losing it, You can't really blame them for being assholes or stupid. Anyway, look at that. We got Holodiscus up there. Holodiscus. Oh, that's a nice one. Ocean spray, they call it. Rose family, Rosaceae. And look at those beautiful white sprays of flowers. Nice. I love rock outcroppings like this. Let's go look at that Eriogonum. Who was Wooten? Wooten's woolly sock. What is that? Oh yeah, look at those sulfur flowers on that buckwheat. God, I love Eriogonums. Oh, there we go. I got rest in peace, Flaco Jimenez. I got some of them songs stuck in my head. Beautiful music, beautiful to listen to. That outlaw stuff. I guess he just died today. Anyway, look at the sulfur flowers all spilling out of an involucre in that Eriogonum. And then right next to it, we got that geranium, Sespitosum. Not flowering yet, but it's looking good. He's really going in there on that. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Look, you know what? The florets on the Paracombe only got 4 corolla lobes. I didn't realize that before. Look at this onion. Look at this onion with those excerted stamens. That's pretty unique, huh? God, look at what a beautiful plant that is. Paracombe. That's just got to be common in cultivation. It's medicinal. It's not invasive. every time. The Tourette's just comes out. I fucking hate that plant. I'm sure it's wonderful in the Mediterranean region where it's native. I just don't want to see it. It's amazing how many East Coast affiliates you get in the Sky Islands of New Mexico. Like, they reach their western distribution here. They don't grow down low in the deserts, but up in the Sky Islands and mountains above 8,000 feet, you see a lot of, holy shit, look at all that. Look at all that buckwheat. Look at all that Eriogonum wootonii. Who is Wooton? Yeah, look at that. Look at Wooton's buckwheat. Look at that Eriogonum with those white undersides and all the flowers spilling out of the involucre, which acts like a little vase. There you go. See, there's a better money shot of it. See, the involucre acts like a little vase. See that? The holodiscus looked so good from down below. I had to come take a closer look. Look at those flowers. Look at those sprays, those panicles of flowers. Oh, just covered in tiny beetles, one of which I just smashed on my nose and it emitted some sort of almond smelling compound, which I guess that implies cyanide. Look at that. Look at the leaves on that. What a fucking great plant. This is it's just a fucking treasure trove of riches right under your noses, and you plant garbage. You plant fucking Nandina domestica. What are some horticultural atrocities in the New Mexico Ruidoso area? Look at that thing wedged into rock. Just like how does it do that? How you doing it? You wedged into this igneous rock right here. Have these gone off already, or are these don't look like they've, oh no, they're post. So those are post, these are still going off. What a fucking great plant. Holodiscus discolor. Ocean spray. Little white flower. It's a fucking beautiful plant. Pinus brachyptera. Formerly, I guess it was formerly a ponderosa, but those are beautiful too. The ones that are left that survived the fire, at least. Yeah, I just, I don't know what to say. It's just fucking gorgeous. That's all it is. What is this? Who's this potentilla? Is that Thurbri? Probably, I guess, huh? Yeah, with plenty of phenocrysts in those rock, too. In that rock. Look at that. It's a purple rhyolite with little, what is that, feldspar or something? I don't know. I haven't been around igneous rock in a while. It's all limestone where I live. This is cool. So a wealth of composite diversity. We got that paracomb caudata. Then over here, we got Brickelia grandiflora, which you could see why it's got big ass flowers for a Brickelia. And look at the texture of that leaf. Asteraceae, the family Stevia tribupatori, is the clade that this is in. And then over here we got the close look-alike, but with slightly more violet-leaved flower heads. You can see it's still got those long-ass styles that Brickelia grandiflora has. This is Brichelliastrum fendleri. But it's slightly different. You can see they look a lot alike. And they've both got those hair-like long-ass styles, which are a trademark of the Eupatoriae, the Stevia tribe. And then down here we got another somewhat narrow distributed one. This is a Diateria bigelovii. Just look at the phylaries on that. Almost looks thistle-like, but it's got those little trichomes on everything. And a yellow center, but they're not open yet. We got the Mirabilis melanotricha over there too. A lot of good stuff here. Right up there we got Robinia neomexicana, a legume with pink flowers. It's a locust tree, but it's got them pink flowers up there. See, they're just starting to open. Look like large pea flowers. Oh, never mind. I think this is Diateria asteroides. Diaterias normally have a very narrow involucre, a very thin involucre. This is pretty broad and more globose. And it seems like they're just starting to open at night, which is weird. That's odd. That's what Onothera does for moth pollination. Oh, God, this thing fucking rules. Look at this. Lithospermum thurberi. I didn't know this was here. Look at this. I was hanging out here photographing. One of the hummingbirds are getting aggressive. I've been here 3 days. They get aggressive in the evenings. It came down. Didn't realize it was here. Got kind of pissed off and then took off. But look at this thing. This grows all the way down into Durango, Mexico. Boraginaceae. Look at the stiff little hairs. They're not smooth and pleasant hairs. They're not fluffy hairs. They're stiff little hairs. Look at those lanceolate sessile leaves. I guess maybe there's a little bit of a petiole. Look at those flowers, though. Oh, what do you think is hidden this? the moths. Probably the hummers too, obviously, but both hummers and moths go for nectar. So, man, there's just intense, at dusk, there's just such intense moth and hummingbird activity in these fucking mountains. This is an incredible plant. Grows in Arizona, New Mexico, and then down into as far south as Durango, Mexico. Yeah, look, the moths are already out up there. Yeah, what a great plant, man. Look at those anthers. I'm gonna make shirts that say moth pollination makes me horny. Seriously. I'm gonna just print them in the garage. It's the simple black or white ink, single color screen print. Because, you know, a lot of people don't know how important moths are. Get rid of those stupid fucking bug lights people have too. God, it makes me mad, the dumb shit people do. You know, I carry it with me. I carry the stupid shit I'm exposed to in human society with me. You know, don't get me wrong, I love this stuff, but this wouldn't mean as much if I didn't hate. You know, there's a moth hitting it right now. If I didn't hate so many aspects of contemporary consumer American society so much. And it's not just America, it's this stupid shit everywhere. Look at that thing. Look, yeah, look at that. It's a pollinator that evolved with this plant for millions of years. Or at least that thing's ancestors. You know, if you go far back enough, look, it's just going nuts. God, the Sphinx moths, I fucking love them. Oh, God, I love you. Ah, there's more of it. Man, it caused a slight rock fall. Hopefully, luckily it didn't hit that car. Luckily, there's no traffic down there. These slopes are really unstable. Look at the hollow discus. Look at the ocean spray. Ah. Yeah, it's sketchy as fuck here, man. This is really pushing it here. All right, let's get up.
Yeah, we found a bunch.
We're here looking at this Sierra Blanca lupin. These thin leaves, which is everywhere. And then Mandy here found, what'd you find? Neoboletus, what is it?
That's the Neoboletus. The provisional name is the southwestern rainbow.
And it's mycorrhizal with the abies, I take it, huh? You found it beneath all the firs or what?
Yeah.
Abies laciocarpa, and there's spruce up here as well. All right, and you said we should cut it open?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Super blue, super fast. Hold on.
And these are abundant. They look like rocks, you were saying, from holy
the top.
shit. Holy hell. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What'd you say, rainbow bolete is the common name?
It's not the common name, it's the provisional species name before it gets a real actual name. Yeah, it's called the southwestern rainbow.
So this is the undescribed or what?
Yeah, it's undescribed. It only has a provisional name.
So that bluing is just some compound oxidizing.
Yeah, so the mushroom is really yellow on the inside, but then it reacts with oxygen, and the molecule that reacts is called variegatic acid.
And how these are everywhere? They're very common or what?
Yeah, they were like all up with these trees.
So this is Picea pungens, pine family, and then that is Abies laciocarpa, which is in the same. Actually, that might be Picea pungens too. Abies has much more of like a geometric shape to it and flat sprays. Abies laciocarpa, but it's here as well. You got to look at where the needle comes out of the shoot. But this is, what were you saying? What is this?
It's Agaricus Julius.
Julius.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not mycorrhizal, I take it.
It grows in duff or like compost. Agaricus are compost lovers. Yeah, this is edible. It's just it's been eaten through by worms already. So
there's no agaricus that are mycorrhizal, are there? Are there? I don't think so.
I don't think so. They're compost lovers.
Beautiful russety color. There we go. There's Abies laciocarpa, and look at where the shoot connects to the needle. It's just straight green when it comes out of the shoot. And here's Picea pungens, and look at where the shoot comes out on Picea pungens, on the spruce. See, it's got a little bit of beige on it. See? And the tip is a little bit more pointed. It's a little bit more acuminate. But see the beige that kind of, engulfs the needle as it comes out of the shoot for like, 2 or 3 millimeters, something like that. That's how I tell them apart. And then, of course, just the general, the spruces are a little bit more droopy, and the firs are a little bit more upright with those flat sprays of foliage. What is this? You said this is sarcodon. It's like a tortoise shell sarcodon. It's a little dried out, but
yeah.
And sarcodon have teeth, not gills, and they're mycorrhizal. Are all of them mycorrhizal?
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's like really.
That's a really beautiful cap.
Yeah, it's like really sunburned, but they can handle it.
Man, blue spruce is just the gift that keeps on mycorrhizally giving. What'd you say this is, a bolete?
It's a bolete. I think it's Xerocamus.
Look at that, cool.
Here's what it looks like underneath.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pores, nut gills. Oh, and it's got that red thing. So probably not edible. Probably not.
It might be, but I
Why risk diarrhea, though, huh? Damn, look at the bark on the Abies laciocarpa. That is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at how it spreads. Look at how that cork cambium divides to make way for the secondary growth. You know, the lateral growth of the plant. Not just growing up and down, but growing out as well. Like all conifers do. Conifers and non-monocot plants. Yeah, that's Abies. It's just Abies and blue spruce here. That's a spruce right there. You can see that's not doing it. That's fucking gorgeous. Oh, God! And because we have a lot of mycorrhizal mushroom species here, we've also got the plants that parasitize them. Notably, the mycoheterotrophic orchids. This is the genus Corylorhiza, and I think it's Corylorhiza striata, but as you can see, it's gone to fruit already. It's already in fruit. The flowers are gone, but no chlorophyll because it doesn't need any. It's just stealing from fungi. It's wild, growing beneath this little baby blue spruce. God, that's beautiful. That's so cool. That fucking Corylorhiza. That's a cool genus. The coral root. All of them are mycoheterotrophs, meaning they just steal from fungi. Well, maybe it's consensual. We don't know. We tend to anthropomorphize. But you can see they're doing very well. There's a lot of them. And seeds are tiny too. There's probably going to be millions of seeds from those few plants. Yeah, I've been making fun of mullein people all day, you know, but here's a plant that's truly medicinal. It's a cool native and it can be really hard to grow. Ligusticum porteri, aka OSHA. Look at those flowers. Carrot family, Apiaceae. Really unique flowers. You can see the ovaries in the center. It looks like a little ass. 5 petals on each tiny flower. Compound umbel. And there's the leaves right there. It looks like parsley leaves. That's a fucking great plant. And I haven't seen too many. I thought I saw the leaves back there, but I didn't see one in flower. So it's nice to see it in flower. Anyway, it's too dark to film, but it's been a nice day. So thank you, blue spruce, and thank you, Abies laciocarpa. That's all I got. Have a great day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. You know, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I just can't stop. That holodiscus is amazing. I had to collect some of this from the herbarium because it doesn't seem like there's been a lot of collections from this mountain range. God, the air smells incredible. There's owls going off. The moon looks good. There we go. Look at that. Moon looks nice. Got something else cool going off over here. I just peed in the middle of the road. Just took the opportunity. So this wasn't going off. There's that holodiscus up there. Bunch of tiny moths hitting it. The evening primrose has opened. The Onothra elata. And then we got this showy bastard right here, which these flowers were not open when I passed by earlier. Silene is the genus. Carnation family, Caryophyllaceae. It almost looks like Acero rubra, that butthole mushroom. But these had just opened. So they're red, which would imply hummingbird or butterfly pollination, but they just opened at night. You can see they're loving this rocky outcropping. I think this is a Silene laciniata. But whatever it is, it's a goddamn stunner. Silene is a genus that's pretty widespread. Get them in Florida, get them in California. Variations on a theme, many different species. That thing's a banger, though. You can see there's many more. Yeah, those were not open before. Look at that. Jesus Christ, that's cool. How about that? Look at that flower. It's like the New Mexico logo. Those weird white. What are those? Staminodes? What is it? Oh, sure looks cool though. You know, it's 10 o'clock now. And it's a nice pine. What is it? How many needles? 3? Looks like it's just brachyptera. And we're just walking along. That owl is singing to us. And we see this nice holodiscus. Oh, this steep slope. And then we come across this, and I'm looking at it and trying to figure out what the hell it is that I'm looking at. And my first thought was a ribes, a gooseberry of some kind. But it doesn't look like any of the ribes that occur in these mountains. And then I realize from looking at some of the fruits, which you can see right there, little post, see after the flowers. And I realize this is hydrangeaceae. And this is a pretty rare plant with a limited distribution called Jamesea americana in the hydrangea family. And it's a fucking banger. Look at it. That's a beautiful plant, man. That is a gorgeous plant from the high mountain west. Kind of a limited distribution. I guess it occurs farther west in California. I've never seen it in California. We're at 8,800 feet right now, so. And it's growing right beneath the ocean spray, the holodiscus, so it's a new one for me. And it's a stunner. And what a fucking cool plant. Look at those flowers. Look at how many stamens you got. 8, 10, something like that. And those white flowers, again, imply moth pollination. Maybe tiny moths, I don't know. Moth pollination is huge in this mountain range. A sky island in the Chihuahua Desert. That makes sense. Lots of tiny white moth-pollinated flowers. So see, there you go. Moth. There's little moths everywhere. There's so many guys. It's not just the sphinx moths, the big ones, which are out at dawn and dusk. That's the little ones too. Ah, and those flowers are fragrant as hell. What a cool plant. Jamesea americana. Man, I love finding new shit. Stuff you never seen before. It is a long way down, and it's very steep. All right, should we go? You ready to go or what? Huh? You're so patient. Thank you.